today is a pretty cool day because I will be meeting Tom Blakey, aka the Prepared Pathfinder. Now many of you will know exactly who that is, and those who don't, you're about to find out. Really excited today, joined by Tom Blakey, aka Prepared Pathfinder. Excited to meet you,
Yeah,
Tom.
nice to meet you, bud.
I've been a long time fanboy, I should say.
Yeah, no worries.
Most people will know who you are. Now, for those that don't, perhaps a little introduction about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Tom. I served in the British Army for 25 years, plus another 8 years in the reserves as well. I was mainly in the Pathfinders, but I served before that in one para, and I was in the Red Devils free-fall team as well. I've been at the Army now for, out of the regular Army for 10 years, at the reserves for about 3 years, I think now. I now run an events company called First in Events, and I've got a YouTube channel called Prepared Pathfinder, and I work with cadets at a school now with my main job as well. So that's pretty much what I do.
Amazing, yeah. Amazing. And you mentioned the events, and that's obviously why I'm here. I'm looking forward to doing the P Company Trilogy event with First in Events, which Joe and Tom run. So you mentioned yourself, you've served in the Pathfinders, in the Parachute Regiment, you've obviously got a personal connection. Can you tell us a bit more about the event and the inspiration for it?
Okay, so this event we're doing here tomorrow is a 28-kilometre event, which is the same sort of distance as the fan dance, which is conducted right over here at Pen y Fan. But instead of it being a linear event in one straight line and then back over, you're in like a circle. But it's actually like a figure of 8. So you go round in a circle, round in another circle, and then back to where you come from. And that started as part of P Company, which is Pegasus Company. It's the selection course for the Parachute Regiment and Airborne Forces.
It's a critical stage in our training. It's a very useful period where we can decide who is capable of going on to advanced training. We are sorting out the men from the boys at that stage. We've been doing it for 40 years, and we haven't done too badly.
And it used to be day 4 of P Company. Before that, you've already done a 70-miler the day before, and then 10-milers and the Trenasium and milling and all that sort of stuff before that. But on this event here, you set off as a squad, so it's not individual effort. And the idea is you have to keep up with the instructor. Yeah. If you lag behind too far, they literally take you off the event and you fail the whole of P Company.
Fucking arse. Switch on, otherwise I will pin you here and now.
And you either start again from the start, or that's you done, you transfer to another regiment. So it's a very, very tough event. And I think some people may underestimate this route a little bit because it's not as well known. And just because of the fact you don't go over Pen y Fan twice, you go over it once, but then you go over Fan 4, and at the end you then have to complete the last section. And when you had to do this during training, that last section, which is 10 k's long, you had to do that in an hour. So regardless,
oh wow, so you're proper,
so
proper running.
You had to basically run for 10 k's at the end, and you're carrying 35 pounds and water and your weapon and maybe a little bit of food as well. So you're carrying about 45, 50 pound. And I did that when I was 17, so quite a young age to be doing it. And it's a very tough event on its own, let alone doing it with all the other sort of events you had to do as part of P Company.
Yeah, because it's day 4, as you said.
Yeah.
So it's obviously quite a while ago, if you were 17 then.
Yeah.
Any sort of memories that you still recall from doing the actual event?
Well, I was very fit at the time.
Yeah.
It was tough, but it wasn't a problem at all. I kind of flew around the hills when I was that age. I was very hill fit. Yeah. And it wasn't a problem. I did find that after that day, though, I was quite well tired. We had a 7-mile stretcher race the next day, which was incredibly hard. And I remember that last day being
and the log,
very
was
tough.
That still to come?
The log was like on day 1, I think. Day 1 or day 2. So that we'd already done that. So we'd already done the log, the milling, the steeplechase, the Trenasium, the 10-miler, all those events we'd done before we even come to Wales.
Yeah, interesting. So I have to ask, which event did you think is the hardest for you personally?
They're all kind of hard in their own way.
Yeah.
But I think probably the stretcher race, because it was the last event and your body's deteriorated and you're tired. But it was other than that, it was just a very, very hard event anyway. I don't know the weight of the stretcher. It's like a couple of £100. I think it's £250, something like that. And you have to put it on your shoulder and run with it for 7 miles. You have a
that's still in Wales, or is that back in?
It's here, yeah. It's up and down hills as well.
Oh, wow.
You do switch around with other guys, but then as guys drop out, if that's all you've got left, then they stay on the stretcher, and if you don't complete that, then you've failed the whole thing anyway. And it's a very, very tough one. But you know, all the different events are kind of difficult in their own way.
Yeah.
Like the milling. The milling was basically boxing with no rules, so you weren't allowed to body shot. You had to punch the other guy's head for a minute flat, and you couldn't weave or dance around. You just had to stand there and punch the other guy in the face for a minute flat. And if they thought you weren't giving enough, then they stop it and you start again. And if you turn away, they'd either stop it or they'd fail you. You know, so each event was very different.
Yes.
The Trinasium, you're up at 55 feet, jumping across gaps, no crash nets, nothing. You know, so that was really scary. Some guys failed on that. So each event kind of tested different parts of your physical being and your mental being as well, actually. Yeah.
Fantastic. And now, first time doing the event, so I was going to say, have you got any advice for someone doing it for the first time? But actually, it hasn't been done for many years, obviously.
Yeah.
So I know it's a long time ago, but in terms of pacing, any sort of tips for me tomorrow to bear in mind?
You obviously, it's too late now if you're not already, but you need to be hill fit.
The training's there.
You need to be hill fit for something like this. But what I would say is pace yourself at the start, because the start of it is actually up quite a steep hill to start with, and then going up the
Second
last
hill,
bit to well, when you actually go up the last bit of Pen y Fan, it's kind of like that. It's really steep.
Oh, is Jacob's Ladder part of it?
No, it's from the north.
Oh, okay.
So it's even steeper.
I'm not even sure I've ever done this descent.
So it's really steep, that last descent.
Steeper than
it's very steep. So be careful going up there.
Yeah.
Fan 4, even though it's a steadier climb, it's quite a long climb.
I have done that one when I was wrecking endurance.
So again, you can't really, you got to kind of pace yourself going up there, but it's quite a long climb up to that. And then coming down, just be careful because it's really steep, and also don't take a direct line to the car park with the red phone box, because if you do, you're going to drop off the side of a cliff. So you need to basically contour around, and the staff up there will direct you, but be careful. And what I will say is that last bit that we had to do, the 10k section, just stand by, because that's a tough little section as well. Because you're up and down.
As you say, it's 10, and then it's a 10k run, isn't it?
Yeah, so that 10k
really
is it's on a track, it's on a road as well, but it's like up and down, and because it's got like high verges on either side, you can't really see anything more than, I don't know, 50 to 100 metres at any one time. Yeah. So it can be quite psychologically challenging because you can't see the end. It just seems to go on forever, that last bit. So just stand by for that last bit, thinking, oh, I'm nearly there. It will take a while to get to the end.
Wow. Do you have any recollection of the sort of timing you guys would do it in?
No, other than the last section that we had to do in an hour to pass. If we didn't, then we'd fail the whole of P Company. Yeah. But the rest of it, I don't know. We literally just had to keep up with the instructor.
Squatted.
Yeah.
Well, it'll definitely be a higher pace than I'm going to do, but I'm going to be focusing on completion. What sort of inspired you to try out for Pathfinders after that?
So I was always kind of wanting to progress a little bit each time, like push myself a little bit further. And the Pathfinders, actually, when I was in One Para, they ran a course whilst I was in One Para for One Para patrols, which is like the reconnaissance platoon for One Para. So they ran it, they DS the whole thing, and then we went on escape and evasion with them too. What's now called SEER. So we went on that same course with them, and I was just really impressed with the guys, super like professional soldiers, really good guys, and I just thought, actually, you know, I want to be like these guys, and that's what I want to do next. So about a year after that, I went on Pathfinder selection and then passed that, and then
the Dutch Airborne has adopted the Pathfinder idea, but it wasn't around, because I spent a little bit of time in the National Reserves, but so they've adopted it, but the concept, I don't know, maybe I think in the last 15 years, I don't know exactly. But in the British side, has it been a continuous line all the way? Has it always been there, or was it sort of brought in?
So Pathfinders were adopted in the Second World War to basically mark drop zones for the big force of the troops jumping in, places like Arnhem and Normandy and Sicily and all those places. We actually invented the idea of Pathfinders for airborne forces. The Americans basically took our idea, we trained them, and then, you know, it came on from there. So we had them in the Second World War. After the Second World War, sadly, they got disbanded. You know, part of defence cuts, they thought, okay, we don't need us anymore. A few years later, I think it was in the maybe late 50s, early 60s, it was reinstated. But it was unusual because it was the Guards para platoon. So the Guards actually had their own section within airborne forces, and they become the Pathfinders. They stayed going until about 1978, which they got disbanded again defence cuts. But after the Falklands War, they were then reinstated again in 1985, and since 1985 they're the same unit now as they were then. Obviously they've changed slightly, you know, they've become bigger. Their roles and functions have slightly changed over the years, but since 1985, that's how the modern Pathfinders came around then, and they're still in existence now. So,
and you mentioned guards, because that's right. Even to this day, someone's in the guards, they can get into Pathfinders, can't they?
Because of that link with the old history of Pathfinders with the guards, when I joined in 1995, we actually had about 4 guards on our selection, and 2 of them passed. But nowadays, anyone can come to Pathfinders. It's completely tri-service as well. So you can come from the Marines, come from the RAF Reg, and any regiment within the British Army can apply for Pathfinders. Obviously, you need to be ready for the course, though. Navigation and fitness needs to be good.
P company? No, I don't think so. No, they've got their own. You've got your own.
So
your own
that classes as your arduous course to qualify for a parachute course. Just before I joined Pathfinders, though, you did have to do P company as well. So I know one guy in particular that passed Pathfinders, and then a few weeks later he went on P company.
No way. Well, it's a slightly different sort of difficult, isn't it? That's interesting. So he's sort of done a full endurance distance as part of his Pathfinder.
Absolutely.
And then I think it's Fast and Furious, I guess, the P company.
Yeah, it is.
It's got its own challenge.
P company's a pure fitness event, pure fitness test. Whereas Pathfinders and selection, you do your fitness phase, but you're also doing your soldiering selection, where it's a lot more in depth on your soldiering. So it's not just pure fitness.
So I'm a complete nerd for this sort of stuff. So, and if you then compare them with sort of your juniors and senior Brecons, come on, were they? Is that a completely different sort of?
Yeah, it is.
Hard, I mean, that's Wales as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So juniors and senior Brecon, I've done both of those courses, and they are tough, but it's not like a selection course. It's more learning subject matter and then putting it into practice, and it's all about leadership basically. So it's learning to be a section commander or a platoon sergeant. So very, very different, and it's a far longer course, like three and a half months if you do both phases for each of those courses. And I had a whole load of fun on those courses too.
Oh, cool. Finally, we talked a little bit about this previous. For those who don't know, I'm Dutch. I grew up in Eindhoven. It's actually not that far down the road from Arnhem, and actually when the Allies moved from D-Day, obviously we've recently had the 80 years commemorations, which was a fantastic video that you did on your channel.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, jumping out, and you took us along as viewers, jumping out of that Dakota, that just amazing. And then obviously recently you did the one in Arnhem.
That's right,
which was a fantastic thing. So the Parachute Regiment and the airborne forces really came into their own. Like Eindhoven was liberated by the 101st Airborne.
Roger,
if you look at Band of Brothers, there's actually an episode where they're going into Eindhoven. I remember having dinner with one of my friends, and his parents were hosting one of the American veterans, who would have been so this was the 45th anniversary. He would have been between 60 and 65 with his wife. And our generation, because I don't think we're massively apart, a bit older if anything, but we still got to meet those veterans. Just the thought, and I remember even being like 12 years old for the 40th anniversary and meeting not meeting, but seeing a group of airborne, actually British para-reg, and they would have been only sort of about 60 at the time. No berets, just little pins. Because I remember there was a group of them, little pins. It's really understated. And just the thought as an 11 or 12-year-old, these people have come from another country to liberate my hometown is incredibly moving. So there's
amazing,
a real, really respect.
Cool.
And hopefully, so what was your experience going to the Netherlands in terms of?
Oh, awesome. I mean, I've been to Arnhem lots and lots of times. I've jumped in on lots of different anniversaries. I've actually jumped with a veteran strapped to the front of me when I was in the Red Devils, which was amazing, back in, I think, 2001. So I've jumped from a Dakota, I've jumped from a Dutch aircraft, an F-27, I've jumped from a German Transall, a British C-130 and various others. And each time it's just amazing. Just the reception at the local people is just amazing. Seeing all the Pegasus flags laid out everywhere and all the houses and stuff. Just fantastic.
And the jumps,
fantastic.
Those who haven't seen the video, I'll put a link to the description of Pathfinder. Those videos are amazing. And then you got a bit of footage from your mate Mitch jumping from a Dakota as well, didn't you?
That's right. One? Yeah. So I would have liked to have done it this year, but I thought I'll give someone else a go this year, and I'll just jump out of a helicopter.
Jump from a helicopter instead. Yeah. I love how sort of nonplussed the pilots are. You go, see you later. Bye. I do it every day.
Cool.
your sort of experience working with the Dutch army, and in this case, well, the most elite within the Dutch army for certain, the Green Berets in Roosendaal? Is that where you did
right.
it? Yeah.
That's exactly where it was.
What was your experience of working
really cool.
with the commandos?
So we went over to Holland and we did 4 weeks there with the Dutch
wow.
Green Berets, the commandos, and we basically did their military freefall course. So we started jumping out of F-27s and we jumped out of a C-130, and we also jumped out of an Alouette helicopter, and we jumped out of a Sea King as well. So course.
And what sort of time was this?
This was in 1996.
Oh, okay.
So we've done about 30 jumps.
Wow.
We learnt to pack their parachutes as well, because in the UK we don't pack our own parachutes for military.
Right.
Someone else does that. So we had to pack our own parachutes as well, which is a big learning curve for some of the guys. But yeah, it's an amazing few weeks, and again, really friendly guys, loved it. But I did find that they were kind of a lot more chilled out than the British Army.
Oh, really?
A little bit more
good.
laid back, a little bit like, chill dude. But yeah, lovely bunch of guys. Really,
Awesome.
great month that was, yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks again for
Cheers,
your time,
mate.
Tom,
Yeah,
and I
thanks,
really
mate.
can't
No
wait
worries.
to tomorrow.
Cheers.
And thanks, Joe, for the camera.
Awesome.
Right. 2 ration packs of all-day breakfast. Tent is up. So, 6:20 a.m. race day. Got my trusty Fawr and cab trousers. The shirt that you see me wearing all my event videos. Some pockets for snacks. Underneath, a 100% organic cotton heart routine shirt, available via the link.
I'm going to talk through the whole route anyway. Half past 8, we'll do a brief.
But stay on the grass, don't follow the mud.
Hello mate, how you doing? All right? There are a couple of people that haven't turned up yet, but I can't just keep waiting for them, so I'm going to crack on with a brief. So some of the other stuff you see dotted around, and there'll be people sweeping, there'll be guys on checkpoints, part of the selection course for the Parachute Regiment and Airborne Forces. This was day 4 of 5. So we've done 2 days in Aldershot, where you do your milling, your Trainasium, your 10 miler, and all those sort of fairly short events, the log race and all that. Then you do a 17 miler around this area, and that was pretty quick as well. I think it was 2 hours 45, something like that. 17 miles over these hills, carrying weight, it's quite quick. So the brief then, you should all have a map, yeah? One of those little maps we've done, yeah? Okay. So I'll talk about it in detail. If you've got any questions, shout up as we go. So that's where we are now. You're basically going to go up a main track up this feature here. And this bit at the end, which you'll come to love in a little while, is all on roads, which sounds nice, but it's very undulating. But this bit here, we had to count from that checkpoint to the end, we had to complete that in 1 hour. So when you're doing it, think yourself lucky that you're not on the flipping stopwatch and carrying 35 pounds and have to do it in an hour, because that was cheeky. And I was 17 when I did this, literally just turned 17. And a lot of the guys around me were similar ages, so kids basically, downpour. So don't think about ditching your waterproofs, always take them with you anyway. Everyone's to carry at least 2 litres of water, okay? At least 2 litres. Just so you know, there's a guy in amongst the group. He's actually training for selection, and what he's going to do, he's going to go off at a good speed. Nice fit young man here. But he's actually carrying about twice the weight. Okay, so when you pass him, don't do it. He's training for selection. He's actually carrying 55 pounds, all right? So he'll be marking the route. He knows the route. He'll be marking the route. And there's obviously, I know there's a few that have actually done the record route, so good on you guys. So there shouldn't be any. There shouldn't be any reason why you lost on this route. Anybody got any questions, please? I'm sure you'll love it. All right. Stand by. Stand by.
Go.
So the start is a proper lung buster. Yeah, that's a fantastic way to set the tone. Pretty technical path. Beautiful day, great visibility. People say, oh, you've always got a smile on your face. It's because I love it. Hello Lee, you don't know me but I know you from the bug out.
Oh, right.
I've been enjoying your ration pack last night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I had them in my tent. I ordered them with you. So
Yeah, good, thanks very much.
good to see you. So, I'm looking forward to this. I've never gone up any van from this ascent, this angle. So really looking forward to this one. I tend to get a niggle my left knee on the downhill. Uphill, never any problems, never any problems. My left leg is as strong as the other. That's why I like uphill. I will do, thank you. Yeah, I didn't know about that ascent. I recognise it. There's a BBC documentary from the 80s where they follow
Right, get your blue Peter badges on here.
a parachute regiment training.
It's not like getting upstairs to bed.
And that's where I recognise it from. Anyway, very nice ascent, very challenging. A granny path, the granny path to Pontardaf. Now those who've seen my videos before may know that I'm actually not a fan. I find it hard on the knees. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Morning. 05. Number 5. 05 is my number.
All well? All is good?
Yeah, all good. Very good.
Excellent.
On to Fanfare.
Do you know where you're going?
Because I'm going behind the reservoir, aren't I? Another first. Some hand railing round the reservoir with the reservoir to my left. And that's not a route I've ever taken. Super boggy here, so it's really assessing the terrain. The tip I got was obviously stay high if you can, so even if that means taking a bit of a detour, because I'm actually I'm not wearing Gore-Tex boots. I've got my Aqua Pilgrims non-Gore-Tex, which is a lovely fast boot for good conditions, and given the weather, I didn't know we were going to go through bog. I chanced it. So all that means is I'm taking particular care to stay out the worst of it here. Here they are. Trusty. For value for money, I'm going to say my favourite boot, the Aqua Pilgrim. And I've got some very expensive Mindful boots, and they're absolutely great for the heavier stuff. But pound for pound, given that the Aqua Pilgrims, you could often get them at half the price of a pair of Mindles. Yeah, best value boot that I'm aware of anyway. Front fire will be that way.
What's your number, please?
05.
39.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, straight up the ship path and everything. Style over the fence. Just follow the track all the way up to the top.
Are you okay being filmed?
Yeah, totally.
Brilliant. So, where have you travelled from, John?
Well, New Zealand, via Western-super-Mare today.
Yeah.
But yeah, NZ. I saw the videos online, you know, of all these different events,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, I'd really like to try something like that. It seemed to be quite a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So I found one, which is this one, which fitted when I was in the UK. So here I am.
Yeah, amazing to come from the other end of the world for this event. Well, it's a great one. You chose well, because it's really lots of adventure, as in it's off the beaten path. We were just talking about the training. So you were saying you've started training 5 months ago, did you, John?
Yeah, so I've always really enjoyed the hills, but you know, this lifestyle, work and whatever, you've got to find yourself overweight and not particularly fit. Not that I'm super fit now, but just getting that training for it. And here we are.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more.
Combination of it all.
Beautiful. The reservoir. Paddy van in the distance. Up here, we're about to summit Fawr. So that means we've done the big climbs for today. So that is good. But we're not even halfway distance-wise. Hello?
Number?
05.
05, Dave.
Ferdinand.
Les.
Say again?
Les.
Oh, no. No.
You alright or are you injured?
No, I'm totally good. I always, my left knee always gets a bit dodgy, but it's normal. I'm good to go. Sorry?
You're the video maker.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, you're on video now. Yeah.
Well.
I can blur your face out if you don't like.
Everything alright?
Yeah, very good, thanks.
Well done, good stuff.
Thank you.
All downhill from here, mate.
Yeah, so there's, look, it's signposted.
Follow those orange tags there, stay
Brilliant.
okay? And go steady off the ridge now, okay? Because it's a bit slippery.
I will do.
But yeah, get yourself down there, mate.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Did you mind being filmed? I can black your face.
Yeah, do my face.
Do your face. So another MK7, we were just talking. How long have you had it?
Not too long. Yeah, about a month.
So it's not cheap to start with. And then all of a sudden in the mail from Inland Revenue and Customs, I got another bill for like 15% whatever import duty. Right, Taff Trail, we've done all the climbing. Enjoying some amaretto cookies from Bonjour. Bonjour Putney, it's the bakery. And now it's undulating terrain for at least 10k. Keeping a good pace. It's undulating up and down. Keeping good level of effort going.
Number 8, John Smallbrick.
On, yep. Pretty brave. There we are, boys, well done. Just like the number 26.
Very much, thank you.
Doing it. Oh fuck, it's uphill. Last bit uphill. Okay. Jesus, we're going out. Come on, John, come on. Let's run it in. Yes. Come on, run it in, run it in. Gotta run it in. Where's the finish here?
And stuff. Do you want me to video you for a couple of seconds?
Yeah, brilliant.
So Ferdy, how'd you find that?
Well, let me catch my breath. That was amazing. It's definitely, yeah, listen, it's definitely, it's for people who have done the fan dance and are looking for that extra 30%. The last bit is all uphill, isn't it? It's
Cool.
the last bit is a real, yeah, you underestimate it. Because we thought we'd just run the last 5k. No chance. We ran the last 500 meters, more like.
Yeah, well, treat yourself, mate. Work hard. Feel the benefit.
Awesome. First medal of its kind.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Picture.
Yeah, nice one.
Enjoy it.
It was absolutely,
Part 2 fun.
yeah. I don't even know what to expect because you kind of sign up and we're overseas, so you sign up and I had no idea what it was going to be like. You watch all the YouTube videos and like bullshit and it's like, yeah, okay, give it a crack.
It'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then said, yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Come and treat yourself in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've come on holiday and this is part of my holiday amongst other stuff. But no, it's been absolutely mega in every single way.
Well done.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, it really showed. Having someone there, it makes you go faster.
Yeah.
There's no way, if it's just me, I would have gone this tempo. But John he's a fit guy, honestly. Like I don't want to sort of fall behind. Back over the bridge. Mission accomplished.